Thank you, Mr. Jacob. A very, very important message there. Quite a number of statistics there, but the bottom line is that we need to fill out our census forms when they come. Now at this time, I think I'm back on track here, I think. Now at this time, we will get into our recognition portion of the program. And I would ask now for Aretha Fields to come forward. Aretha Fields is a presenter. She is not the recipient. Just want to make that clear. Okay, all right. And at this time, we will ask our recipient to come up now. And her name is Miss Cynthia Jones. All right. Better known to most of us as Miss Polly. Miss Polly. We also we will have some other people come up to be a part of this presentation. Mary Lou Dowdy, I'm sorry. Mary Lou Dowdy. Dr. Joseph Domino is State Representative Matt Bradford here. Someone's representing. And David Otto. Someone representing him. Okay, and another representative here then. Okay, I'll turn it over right now to Ms. Dorothea Fields.
Good evening, everyone. What a privilege for such a great woman. We're going to read her profile. It's in your program. It says Cynthia Polly Jones was born in Norristown, PA, November the 7th, 1936 to Mr. and Mrs. Lindsay Williams. She graduated from Norristown Area High School in 1955. She received a nursing degree from Sacred Heart School of Nursing. In 1963, Cynthia was employed at Sacred Heart Hospital until 1971. From 1971 to 1979, she was employed as a supervisor for Dr. Joseph Domino at 5 medical centers in Philadelphia, PA. In 1979 to 1996, she was employed with the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit as a teacher assistant. In 1994, she joined the George Washington Carver Center Board of Directors. She organized and directed a homeless shelter that started with 6 people and grew to 68 people. During the time, various companies came to the center to provide the homeless men with daily employment, while the women prepared meals and cleaned the center. In early 2000, an employee of the George Washington Carver Center became ill. Cynthia Jones resigned from the board and filled the position. She was instrumental and organized the boys' basketball programs. With dinner served each Friday, she started a girls' club in 2009 called No Babies, teaching life skills and how to grow up to be responsible women. While at the center, she wrote and directed 2 plays called Is That Your Girl? And How Is Your Driving? Stay in Your Lane. These plays raised over $3,000 each. All the funding was donated to the George Washington Carver Center. In the past 7 years, she has organized Thanksgiving and Christmas food drives. These drives consist of turkey, ham, and various traditional food items. She was instrumental in working with the Marine Corps, Patrician Society, and Electrician Union. The Electrician Union, with the assistance of Miss Polly, organized a Christmas community project. All the children of the local community could receive new toys, new clothes, and special gifts. During the summer, the George Washington Carver Center provides a swim program. Mrs. Jones worked at the swim club from 10 a.m. in the morning until 7 p.m. in the evening. 7 days a week, she always say to receive is a privilege, but to give is divine. Mrs. Jones' family and faith are very important to her. She has 4 children. She attends New Hope Baptist Church. Mrs. Cynthia Jones, affectionately called Miss Polly, a mother, a mover, and a shaker. A wonderful example of Black History 365. Continuing to grow and develop as a good citizen. Let's give it up for Miss Polly. We have a award certificate here for you, Ms. Jones, Cynthia Jones. And it reads, please accept our sincerest appreciation for a lifetime of accomplishments that exemplify the theme of Montgomery County's 2010 Black History Month celebration, honoring our heritage as we continue to grow and develop as good citizens. That's from the Montgomery County Black History Committee. Thank you.
Okay, we will have remarks now from Dr. Joseph Benito.
Not think I was not going to say something. Miss Polly and I go back from the 1960s. We come from the same neighborhoods in the east end of Norristown. And I first came in touch with her when I was an intern working in the emergency room. As a matter of fact, the very first night I worked, we had a woman come up to the emergency room in a taxi cab. She was pregnant and was ready to deliver in the back seat. I'm just beside myself. She comes out, she says, come on, Doc, we can do this, and we deliver her in the back seat. We proceeded over the year to have 2 more in the back seat of cars. But I can tell you this, she was an inspiration to me because, you know, I'm a street kid. I had a lot of guts to do a lot of things. But in that emergency room, we got a lot of gunshot wounds, a lot of stab wounds, and she always egged me on. Come on, we can do this. This is nothing. Let's sew it up and let's get going. You know, I ultimately went to Vietnam with those guts. And, you know, part of it came from this lady right here. She also told me about the pretty young girl in room 232 with the blue pajamas. I married her. That's true. It's true. You know, this is almost 50 years later. It's true. When I came back from Vietnam, I didn't have money to start a practice. And I figured, gee, I think I'll go into Philadelphia where there's a real need. And I started a small clinic in a storefront as a waiting room and a 1-room office. And I thought about it, I thought, you know, the best person to help me here is Miss Polly. So we went down there, and with her help, we enlarged the place. And ultimately, I had 5 of these places. And part of the reason they were so successful, Miss Polly went out and hired African-American students from nursing school. And she made sure they wore the white uniform, the hat, the white nylons, and people got treated real well. It was successful. I went from that one clinic to 120 patients a day, easily. And that was all with Polly, because we treated people like human beings, like they should have been treated in the first place, and weren't in Philadelphia in those days. I'm talking a long time ago, but we were very successful. Then I came back to Norristown. I wanted to be with my own folks. I happen to be from Norristown, but I'm Sicilian. I speak Sicilian, and all my people are here. So I opened an office on Basin Street, right down the block here. I was born in this building, by the way. And I was privileged to deliver two of Miss Polly's children. I did OB in those days too, along with their family practice. But, well, that's what you did in those days. Yeah, that's how the doc did. Gee, I don't remember which two I delivered. I can only turn, if they're backwards, I can see who I delivered. But to show the tenacity, Miss Polly had a stroke that really should have stopped her from talking, walking, and moving. And she came back from that. I don't think anything will ever stop her from talking. This is an award that was a long time coming, and God bless her. She's done a lot for this community, believe me. Some days with my wife, I'm not too happy with
Nobody can follow that, so I'm not going to try. I'm Mary Lou Dowdy. I'm the Director of Social Services at the Office of Children and Youth. And Miss Polly and I only met once, a long time ago, but her reputation is universal. We all know of Miss Polly, and in the Office of Children and Youth, she's pretty well known. And I was asked to talk very briefly about the impact she's had on the kids and the families that we work with in the Office of Children and Youth. And I can say that the George Washington Carver Center is one of the community centers that has made a big impact in Norristown with families and with kids, and has allowed there to be prevention services and active services for kids so that they haven't, those families, those kids haven't necessarily needed to get involved with the Office of Children and Youth. And that is such a huge service to the community of Norristown and the community of Montgomery County. And Miss Polly has had such an impact in that way that we can never thank her enough for what she's done for the community in this area. The kids and the families who have received services over the years through many, many programs in the George Washington Carver Center, and there have been many over the years. Some are still there, some have come and gone. But many of our kids have been able to participate in those, stay out of trouble, work in a positive way in the community, and have actually grown to now be parents themselves in a positive way. So our agency is really grateful for the impact of services like Miss Polly offers through the George Washington Carver Center, because it makes our work at the Office of Children and Youth so much easier. So we can't thank you enough, Miss Polly, for what you're doing in the Norristown community in Montgomery County. The impact is tremendous, and you need to know that you're affecting kids and families every minute of every day. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Myla Hayes, and I am standing in the gap of State Rep Matt Bradford, who actually got detained in Harrisburg with budget hearings, fortunately, maybe, because he's working hard for us. I must say that it is my absolute pleasure, because I am a lifelong resident, and I've essentially known Miss Polly all my life. And I've always known her to be an advocate, a teacher, a counselor, a nurse, a grandparent, a mom, to all the children in the community. But I've also known her to be a trailblazer for Norristown, and I can't say how much I appreciate that effort. I can't say enough how much I appreciate that as a lifelong resident. She's always been a constant in this community, and I think for me, she's always been very open and honest with me at all times about what I'm doing or not doing. So I absolutely appreciate that, and I admire her, and it is my humble honor on behalf of State Rep Matt Bradford to present this citation. And I won't read it because the language actually is a lot of the language that's already in her bio in the program, but I will say, we'll read this part. Now, therefore, the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania lauds Cynthia Jones on her well-deserved honor, affirmatively states that she stands as a role model worthy of emulation, wishes her every future success and happiness, and directs that a copy of this citation, sponsored by the Honorable Matthew D. Bradford on February 12, be transmitted to Cynthia Jones, 822 Arch Street, Norristown, PA. It is signed by Representative Bradford. It's also signed by the Speaker of the House, Keith McCall, and the Chief Clerk of the House, Anthony Barbush. Congratulations.
Good morning. I am stepping in for Mr. Hodo, who is the president of the Carver Center Board of Directors. I am a new board member. I am not from the area, but have taken interest in the area, being as though I've worked in this area for 17 and a half years. I met Ms. Polly as my church held service at the Carver Center. For, I guess, about 5 years, we held church service on Sunday at the Carver Center. Ms. Polly is an excellent person. For you young people who are here, Ms. Polly's not someone you see on TV. She doesn't have a rap video. She doesn't have a song out. She doesn't have a whole lot of the things, or doing a whole lot of the things that people feel are the person who are our role models or people who we should look after. But Ms. Polly is the person who lives next door to kids. All right. Ms. Polly has always been gracious to me. I've been grateful to her for that. Even prior to getting on the board, Ms. Polly said, you know, I like you, kid. You can do good things around. So I married a woman from this area, and we are in the process of transplanting ourselves back here so we can do more effective work in this community. All right. A short message from Mr. Hodo. We, the Carver Board of Directors, would like to thank the Montgomery County Black History Committee for honoring Ms. Polly. Ms. Polly has given many faithful years of service to the Carver, with Toys for Tots, with meal plans, with if they drop off bread, and Ms. Polly oversees those things being distributed fairly, turkeys and things like that. She oversees our summer programs, the pool programs. Ms. Polly has been, you can't replace Ms. Polly for what she does above and beyond what's asked. As we move forward in the future, we would like to continue, to wish Ms. Polly great success in whatever she does, and continue our partnership with Ms. Polly, because no one can do it like Ms. Polly. Ms. Polly is one of those people who can't be replaced in the community. Ms. Polly, once again, from the Carver Center Board of Directors, we would like to present this to you. I'd like to thank you for all that you do. Many times I've come in and even seen Ms. Polly sitting down, talking to a young lady who may have just gotten in trouble with the law. And Ms. Polly has given them direction, things that they should do, and the different changes of people who they need to cut out of their lives. So when you're looking for a person to mentor you, you ladies, Ms. Polly is an excellent person. Thank you once again.
Just when you think you got them all, there's always one more. Ms. Polly, I just want to present to you on behalf of State Senator Dalen Leach the citation that reads, "Congratulations, whereas Cynthia Jones, known to her family members and friends as Polly, is being honored for her volunteer service by the Black History Committee of Montgomery County at a celebration which is being held on February 24th, 2010. Now therefore, the Senate of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania congratulates Cynthia Jones on the great honor which is being bestowed upon her. Affirmatively states that she is a shining example of community spirit, whose many contributions are worthy of deep gratitude and respect, and directs that a copy of this document sponsored by Senator Dalen Leach be transmitted to Cynthia Jones. Signed, Senator Dalen Leach.
I'm ready to cry. I have to hold back. Jo Dee, he's a terrific person. I know Norristown's glad you're here. And all of you that know me know that I'll fight my way through everything. I listen to the young men talk about the census. Where we used to hide from the census taker. Right. They're not gonna do it. We go to the door and say, nobody's home, and shut the door in his face. He didn't talk about the boys that are in jail. There's a lot of them. A lot of our Norristown boys are in jail. A lot of your children, I love them. They come to Carver and we feed them. One little boy told me I fried chicken for him and he asked me to marry him. I was so happy. Yup, I fried him. He said, will you fry it again next week? Will you marry me? But I appreciate everything that you've done, everything that you've said. Giving to me is my life. I just love to give. I love to see kids' faces. Their faces light up. One Christmas we were given bicycles, and one little boy told me he never had a bike. So they were pulling names out the hat. Of course I pulled his name. I had it in my hand and pulled it out the hat. So when you get ready to give to Carver. Carver is the heartbeat of Norristown. Carver is where all the kids, half of you don't know why Carver was built. In 1946, two kids went to the Y to swim, and they were turned away because they were black. So they went to the river and they drowned. And that's why Carver's there. Of course, I'm not going to drown now, but but give to Carver. If not money, time. 7 days a week, we get bread and goodies there. Go to Carver and get them if you want them. But give of your time to Carver and your kids. And the little boy that asked me to marry him, I can't find him now. I was going to marry him. But give up your time to Carver. Thank you so much. There's nothing special about me. I just give of myself, that's all.
I know you can't find a little boy, but I'm always looking for a good piece of chicken.